This is Talk of the Town, a weekly program featuring community events happening in and around Northeast Michigan, with your host, Nancy Smitham, and get the latest from Alpena Community College with Dr. Don McMaster. And now, today's Talk of the Town.
Good morning and welcome to Talk of the Town. I'm Nancy Smitham. My first two guests today are both from the Alpena County Animal Facility. I have Leanne Bloom and Linda Stewart. Good morning and welcome.
Good morning.
Good morning. Thank you for having us.
Thanks for being here. You know, we've been hearing and reading a lot on Facebook and other places about the Alpena Animal Facility, so tell me about it.
All right. Well, there's lots going on. We are a new facility in the area. It came about when a group of people got together last year just due to a lot of animals in our community not having any place to go. The group met and said, what if? What if we could do better? What if we could do more? We have a great board that we have, and we move forward, and we've got our 501c3 status, and we've recently secured a building. Yay. And are working on renovations. So in a really short time, we've come a long way, and we're looking forward to getting a lot more done.
Okay, so where's your building?
Our building is right on M32, right beside the Days Inn.
Okay.
So we have a great location as far as visibility, nice paved roads, easy for people to get to, and a great spot.
Okay, and Linda, you're on the board.
Yes.
And it sounds like you've been doing all kinds of fun stuff, policies and procedures, all those things we love to do, but all important for a 501c3.
Yes, very important.
And you've brought Levi with you today.
Yes, Levi is one of our success stories. He was found with another kitten last summer by the side of the road, and a Good Samaritan picked him and his little brother up, and she didn't have anywhere to take them. She couldn't keep them and nowhere else to go, so she ended up contacting us, and we were able to take them and foster them. And he did great, and one of our other board members fell in love with him so much he adopted him.
Yay!
Yeah, so he's a great cat, and one of, I think we've done over 80 cats that we've helped foster and vet out and take care of and spay and neuter, which is a very important feature to try to help the control of all the animals out there. There's so many.
So when do you think you will officially be open and taking in animals?
Right now we're still working with some fosters. We've got a wonderful foster network. We have found that a lot of people that have found animals or had animals dumped with them, they're not necessarily looking just to get rid of them. They're just wanting to work with someone to take care of the animals. So we've got several people that are fostering animals that have been dropped at their location. So we are hoping to get the building open in the next several months.
Okay.
We've got some building plans being finalized. Yes. So once we get that all confirmed, and it's going to be full steam ahead on construction starting.
Okay, so how can people in our community help you get a running start?
A running start. Well, we have several events that we have coming up.
Okay.
We have a really fun casino bus tour that we're doing over to Odawa and Petoskey on April 6th. So it's kind of a fun way to meet some of the board members and maybe go over there and win a little money.
Okay. Or lose a little money.
Or lose a little money. Yeah, it's all fun though.
Yes.
So we have that. People can always follow us on our Facebook page. We're under Alpena County Animal Facility.
Okay.
We are going to be starting up a really fun second chance resale shop.
Ooh.
So we have a bunch of local artists and people that are working on furniture and such items for us, and we are going to have a store right at the facility.
Okay.
We've already been doing some off-the-leash events.
Okay.
We like to call them some fun events where we've taken some of our treasures that people have donated, and we've gone and sold them. So right now, we are looking for donations of some pet supplies for our fosters.
Okay.
We will have that list on our Facebook page.
Okay.
Of course, financial money is always welcome. And once we start getting the facility open, we will definitely need volunteers. You know, always need people to come in and help. There'll be lots of things to do, volunteers for the store. Volunteers at events, pretty well anything anyone wants to do.
Okay. And now back to the casino trip. I know Alpena likes casino trips, so it's April 6th. Give me some more details.
April 6th, we'll be departing from Walmart at 10 a.m. People can go sign up at Great North Pet Supply. Okay. And we'll spend the day there, win big, have time for lunch, and then return that evening around 6 or 7 o'clock.
And so what's the cost to participate?
Cost is $40.
Okay.
And there'll be some free play available for people once they get over there, and we'll have some fun things planned for the bus ride over too.
And I'm sure it's going to sell out, so how are people going to get signed up? At the Pet Supply?
Yep, they can go to the Pet Supply. We're about halfway sold out now. So if people want to go, they should get some friends together and get over to Great North and get themselves signed up.
Yeah, it should be a fun time, and it's to help a great cause.
Okay. And what about more board members? Are you looking for more board members? Are you filled right now, or volunteers? Where are we with all of those things?
I think our board members are full right now. Definitely can always use volunteers to help with the many events that we have, and then once the shelter is open, or if anyone has any construction background that would like to volunteer time or donate supplies, we would love that, because we are gonna, our first phase, we need to start refurbishing the building so we can get it open.
So like office furniture and things like that you'll be needing?
Yeah.
Oh, definitely.
Tables, chairs, desks, those kind of things.
Okay.
We're also going to be having a big garage sale
Ooh,
on
perfect.
Memorial Weekend. We've been getting some donations already. Some people have given us stuff that's not quite what we want for the store, but they've said, use it however you can.
Perfect.
So Alpena loves their garage sales,
Yes.
so we're going to have a big one Memorial Weekend, and it'll be at the building. So it'll give people a chance
see
to
the
see
building.
where we
Yes.
are. We're hoping to have all of our drawings up by then so people can see, what the vision is.
And so if someone has a donation of furniture or things for the garage sale, what's the best way to contact someone?
They can get, the best ways to get to us is through our Facebook page,
Okay.
Facebook messaging and stuff. We're having a phone hooked up shortly, just without no one being at the building right now.
Okay.
Best ways to do it is to do it through messaging.
Okay. Sounds wonderful. And do you have any other animals you want to tell us about today that maybe somebody be interested in adopting?
We have some super cute kitties.
Okay.
They just were named. We have Clover, Shamrock, and Patty.
Ooh.
Yes, they had the luck of the Irish with them. They were
Okay.
they were named on St. Patrick's Day.
Are they about 2 weeks old?
They 3 weeks old now.
3 weeks old.
And their mom were found abandoned.
Okay.
No place to go, and we had a wonderful foster step in to take them. So we've got some pictures of them on our Facebook page, and more to come. So they'll need a home here in another month to 6 weeks.
And we just want to encourage people to spay and neuter your pets. If you're going to have an animal, that's your responsibility. Don't let these beautiful kittens and cats be laying alongside of a road and walking around with no food or water or
Yes.
anyone to
Like
care
how-
for them.
Yeah.
It's horrible.
And
Yeah.
it's been a tough winter.
Yes, it has.
It's been so cold, and so many people, were finding animals outdoors with no shelter. It's just a really tough time on them. So it's such a simple thing to do.
It is.
There's low-cost spay and neuter options in Alpena.
Yes.
So really, there's no reason for people not to get that done.
And make sure you get them to the vet, make sure they get all the shots and that they have everything they need to protect themselves and other animals
Yes.
also.
Yeah,
Definitely.
Yeah.
Well, I want to thank both of you very, very much for being here, and I look forward to seeing all of your success and hoping that people will drop things by for that garage sale and make it a huge event.
It will be. All right.
Thank you both very
Thank
much.
you so much.
very much.
I'll be right back following these messages. Hi, welcome back. My last guest today is Meg Schwartz, and she is from the Northeast Michigan Great Lakes Stewardship Committee. And I said it right.
You did, yeah. So it's an initiative.
Initiative.
Yes, and we call it NEMIGLISI for short because
Okay.
it is so long.
Yes,
but
it is.
Yeah.
So tell me about your initiative and what you do.
Sure. So the Northeast Michigan Great Lakes Stewardship Initiative is a network of community and education partners that do place-based education throughout 8 counties in Northeast Michigan.
Wonderful.
Yeah.
That's the best way to learn. So you
It
actually
is,
brought some
yeah.
really neat bags and projects with you. Tell me about your student projects that you're doing.
Yeah, so we've got quite a few different student projects going on, and what makes these projects unique is that they are place-based and that they bring the classroom out into the community and involve those community partners. So students are getting their feet wet, their hands dirty, and connecting with those in the community who can further bolster their education.
And living where we live with the Great Lakes, we sometimes take them for granted, but they need to be protected, and we need to start
certainly.
the education young.
Yeah, yes. We are super rich here in Northeast Michigan with natural resources, rivers, ponds, lakes.
Yes.
So, yeah. So tying back to these props, maybe we'll talk a little bit about the single-use plastic survey that
Okay.
students have been doing here in the elementary school. So Lincoln, Hanks, Besser, and Ella White have been doing single-use plastic surveys with from-home lunches on their fellow students. So they're looking at things like juice boxes, throwaway plastic bags, and taking an overall survey and then sharing that data out with their fellow elementary students and
That
seeing
was an
how
eye-opener.
Oh, definitely. And the students get kind of frustrated too. They're like, why is all this plastic, being thrown away, and what can we do to help? So
I just saw something recently on TV about using beeswax and you flatten it out and you use it to wrap sandwiches in.
Yes, yes.
I thought, wow, that's really cool.
Yeah, so empowering these kids to talk to either their administrators or their parents about different options, like the beeswax gives them a great outlet and teaches them young different options for using alternatives to plastic.
So now what do you do with this data, just to open eyes, or?
Yeah, so this survey in particular was kind of a before survey, before the students do outreach with parents and students, and then we're hoping to do another survey later to see if it had any sort of effect.
Great idea.
Yeah.
So you brought some bags. Tell me about the paper bags.
Yeah, so these are for our Earth Day bag project, and this happens on Earth Week every year, and students, 3rd, 4th, and 5th grade students from all different counties throughout Northeast Michigan will decorate these bags with messages of
the change is drastic, don't use plastic.
Yes,
I love
change
it.
is drastic, don't use plastic, don't be a bag monster. So messages of conservation and using the paper bags instead of plastic bags, or reusable bags are an even better option. So they'll be partaking in that this year, and they'll also be partaking in Students for Zero Waste Week. So we partner with the NOAA National Marine Sanctuary, and they put on a program called Students for Zero Waste Week, and students can choose a week during the month of April, and what they'll do is do outreach with other students in their school.
Ooh.
So they get to be the advocates in their school and talk to, usually it's the older kids that are talking to the younger kids about different methods of replacing straws, replacing plastic straws with paper straws, replacing paper napkins with cloth napkins, those different methods of conservation.
So there's things that we all can do at home too. We can do all of those things and use glass plates instead of paper plates, and use cloths instead of paper towels, and wrap in beeswax, or what are some other alternatives for sandwiches?
Oh,
wax paper?
Well, yeah, either that or like Pyrex is a great option
sure.
too, glass, just the reusable plastics, things that are going to live longer than 5 minutes or, half a day. So, yeah. And
then recycling too?
Recycling, yes. So we often like to talk to the students about the 4 R's, reduce, reuse, recycle, and then the 4th R is actually refuse. So refusing to take that styrofoam plate, or refusing to take that straw, and just being conscious about the life of the plastics, because all plastics that have been created are still floating out around there somewhere. They have a really long lifespan. So
and as we were talking before we started taping, if you ever go swimming in a river or a lake and there's stuff in there, it's just like, oh no, that's so horrible. Our beautiful, pristine oceans and lakes and rivers are being polluted by plastic.
It's true. So students are also studying the microplastics that are in the waters and also in the beach sand.
And is that what that little thing
so
was
we've got this really cool plankton trawling net, and it has a really fine mesh on it. And what the students will do is attach a rope to the end of it and let it float along the surface, skimming the surface of the river, and it will collect, different types of plastic. Sometimes it'll collect just stuff that's typically in the river, like dirt and leaves and that kind of thing. But the difference you can see with the plastics is that they're typically like non-natural colors, like the blues and the reds, or they'll be really like round, like obviously human made. So they'll take magnifying glasses and investigate, check out what they find under the microscope or with the magnifying glasses. And 5th graders from elementary school are coming up with a really cool protocol that they can share out with other elementary students for sampling beach sand.
Ooh.
So it involves using peanut butter jars and coffee filters, really low-cost items that you're essentially reusing those peanut butter jars. And you can take a sample, mix it up with a little bit of dish soap, take a sample of sand from the beach, mix up with a little bit of dish soap and water, and then filter it over this coffee filter, and then take a peek using a magnifying glass and see what comes up.
My granddaughter Ezra is a 5th grader at Ella White, so I'll be excited to hear what she tells me when she's done with that project.
Awesome.
So I guess we only have a few minutes left, but what I want to just reiterate is that, you know, you're starting with the students, but it's not too late for us adults to, why don't everyone try a zero, I mean, scares me to think of the thought of it, but a zero waste week. 1 week where you just have zero waste. I mean, think what that would do for our landfills if everyone did it 1 week, and think what it would do, think how many recyclable things and how many things would stay out of our lakes and our streams and our rivers.
Yes, so part of that Zero Waste Week is not only reaching out to their fellow students, it's reaching out to the community. So reaching out to the restaurants, you know, can you replace those plastic straws with paper straws? Can you go from styrofoam to something that's compostable? Making more of a, you know, a bigger effort in the community and having that outreach.
So if someone would like to get more information about any of your projects, what's the best way to reach you, Meg?
Sure, so our website, Northeast Michigan Great Lakes Stewardship Initiative, so nemiglsi.org is our website, and we also have a Facebook page. You're welcome to check out our YouTube channel. We've got a bunch of really
wonderful
cool projects going on there too. So.
Well, thank you for being here, and I hope you'll come back again.
Thanks so much for having me.
Please stay tuned for Dr. Don McMaster following these messages.
Greetings, everyone, and welcome to Talk of the Town. I'm Dr. Don McMaster, president of Alpena Community College, and I'm pleased to have as our guest this morning Mike Colleen, director of admissions at ACC.
Good to be here. Thanks.
Yes. Well, we're glad you're here, and we're glad you're with us. At the board meeting Wednesday, we were talking about something that I think a lot of people don't really know a lot about, but it's a pretty substantial activity. Direct credit for us with area CTE students. Could you fill folks in a little bit on that?
Yeah, you know, this started 3 years ago. It was a Governor Snyder initiative in one of his budgets that he allocated, I think it was $10 million out there for some additional funding for K-12s or CTE programs that partnered with a local community college or partner with a local college, in our case, community college, that if they could partner to offer a 1 credit, direct credit course, some curriculum, they would be eligible for some additional money for their CTE programs. So 3 years ago, Joyce McCoy over at Alpena Public Schools got a hold of us and talked about doing this. And we started with a class 3 years ago, a job search strategies class. Last year we offered an intro to careers, and this year it's a first year experience course. Many of these classes cover curriculum that is required within the CTE model, the curriculum, the core competencies that's in the CT classes. So the high school teacher is delivering the information as they always would, but they're using our curriculum for that portion of their class. And that allows their students to get a free college credit.
Wonderful. And CTE stands for what?
The Career and Technical Education. So a lot of people wonder, so what is that? Auto, welding, building trades, marketing, you know, the ag science program, those types of programs that a lot of times are teaching those employability skills right in high school. Occupational
programming.
Yeah.
And so that was a very accurate synopsis. And so we've worked for the 3rd year now with Alpena, but we also work with other regional providers.
We have, because CT programs are all over, and which is nice is Alpena has great programs, but they also partner with Alcona Community Schools. They have a great ag science program.
They do.
Down there, Connor Hubbard, recently in the news, they had their maple syrup days, their Sugar Shack, big project out there. Connor's very proud of that.
Should be.
And then they also have a new marketing program down in Alcona as well that counts for CTE. And we've also partnered with the Iosco County IRESA Center, where schools Hale, Whittemore, Tawas, and Ascota High Schools also to send their CT students to a facility down in Tawas for auto and health oc and culinary and building trades. We've partnered with them as well. So we've had hundreds of students. And this year, I think we're like 750, 760 students who have taken advantage of this program.
Wonderful. So that is a large number.
Yeah.
That would be half of what we enroll.
Yeah.
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 So we don't count them, you know, in our final numbers, or we haven't, because we don't know how long this will last and when it ends. You know, we really don't want to try and explain why our enrollment has dropped 30 or 40%.
Right.
But it is a service that we provide, and that the CTE folks derive quite a bit of additional revenue from it.
Yeah, what happens then is they're able to then report their students in a good way to the state, saying that they have students involved in this program, which then makes them eligible for a chunk of that $10 million that the state had set aside. So over the last couple of years, Alpena, Alcona, and down in Iosco, they've received significant money because it's $10 million each year that's allocated. They've used it for program upgrades, some new technology, new equipment, and have really enhanced their areas. I mean, I know Alpena High has had some recent open houses of their CTE programs. Boy, they've changed, and it is fantastic down there now. It's really, really nice. And so that's really a win for the schools. The win for the student is the free college credit. And in some cases, some students are on their 3rd college credit because they got one in 10th, 11th, and now 12th grade. And then, of course, a win for the college because we've gotten students taking advantage and having a good positive experience with us. Absolutely.
It's good for us, and just in the way you've referenced, that students get a exposure to ACC and may decide they want to come here. You're right. There's probably maybe $1.5 million over the first 2 years of it that has been distributed from the state to the CTE programs locally. Right. And we're grateful for that and happy for them. You are right. The CTE programs at APS are looking really, really good. Absolutely. You know, Joyce has done a lot, and all their faculty have just been so receptive as well. I think they really see the benefit, not just for their students, but for their programs, because the state is rewarding them for, once again, entering that partnership with their local community college, which is providing these opportunities for their students to get a taste of college. Some of these students, maybe they don't think they're going to go to college, but this lets them know that I can handle this college coursework, and then when they get to our place, they got a couple credits waiting for them. Yeah, wonderful. Yeah. So, Mike, we have about 1.5 minutes left. Where are we in the cycle for registration? Believe it or not, spring is here. Spring is here, and we're thinking about summer and fall. Right. So next week, starting Monday, March 25th, we are starting early registration for summer and fall classes already. Now, as a new student, if you're out there as a new student, you got to make sure you submit that application, do your financial aid, and we require a new student orientation. We do have some new student orientations next week. For any high school students who are out there, it's spring break, and if you're home, great opportunity to come on in and get registered because we're open for business. So just give the college a call and say you're interested in signing up for orientation, and the switchboard will direct you. 356-9021 for the switchboard. And summer classes as well, but there are a lot of orientations coming up. It's ultimately time to get started thinking about summer and fall. Your cycle of work hardly ever stops. It doesn't. It doesn't. I mean, we're on that wheel. We're on that wheel. Yes, and we are. We're always looking ahead. So right now we're looking like 5 or 6 months ahead, and looking forward to seeing people come in. Absolutely. And I can't speak highly enough about the work you do and your team does. And the orientations are a very important piece. Yeah. And I think that really helps students get started in the right way. Well, it brings them in and just gives them sort of, I like to say, information on policies and services and some timelines that they need to know to be successful. We get them to an advisor, and they develop a relationship with somebody who's going to be here to help them be successful. Wonderful. Mike, thanks for all your efforts, what you do for the college. Thank you folks for watching Talk of the Town. We'll see you again next week.
This has been Talk of the Town with your host, Nancy Smitham and Dr. Don McMaster. For a list of community events taking place in Northeast Michigan, please visit our website at wbkb11.com and click on our community link. This has been a Thunder Bay Broadcasting Corporation production.